welcome to a homespun house. I feel like I started that off really excited, but I haven't seen you guys in a really long time. I think it's been probably about or just short of 2 months, which is so crazy because I've been doing podcasts for every week. So to just say I'm going to take some, at first I thought I was just going to take a week off because I got really sick. I just came down with a really bad flu, cold. I was completely exhausted and I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe because I was so congested, and I was really sick for about a week. I was pretty much bedridden, and there was no way I was doing any knitting, and there was no way I was doing anything. I didn't get outside a lot just because I was sick, you know, as what happens when someone is sick. So that's kind of when it all started. That whole week of just being sick, I don't know what happened because it really ruined any sort of knitting, crafting mojo in existence, which for me is just insane to say because I'm knitting obsessed. I spend every moment that I can, or at least I was, knitting and doing some sort of craft or doing something with my hands. I could not sit for a second and not be moving my hands or creating something. So that's when it began. And then it's so crazy because it's been 2 months. It's really hard to remember all of the details, but first I'm just gonna throw it out there that I'm pregnant. I know some of you guessed, Sally, you were guessing that I was pregnant actually before I was even pregnant. I'm almost in my 15th week now, which is really crazy because in 5 weeks, I will be, you know, basically halfway into my pregnancy, which is just blowing my mind. So I've just been really exhausted on top of being sick and then becoming, you know, in my first trimester of pregnancy. I've been way more tired than I was with Elodie. So it was really hard because on top of being sick, losing my crafting mojo, then just being completely exhausted and really obnoxiously nauseous. I'm still very exhausted once the afternoon hits, but I know because I'm going into my second trimester that that's going to go away soon. Yeah, so that's really exciting news. I'm hoping that all of you guys, I know that all of you guys will join in the excitement with me, and we're so excited. We definitely wanted another baby, and we're really happy to be pregnant and to be having our second child when Elodie will be about 3.5 when the second baby is born. We don't know if it's a boy or girl yet, of course, because I'm only out in my 15th week. So we will find out. We do want to find out if it's a boy or girl. But I honestly have not knit a lot. I didn't knit at all, except for this past week. My mojo finally, thank God, came back. I was honestly getting really nervous that I wasn't going to want to knit and that I wouldn't want to craft anymore, and I didn't know what was going on. I was quite frustrated, I guess, that I was sick and that I was so tired. I was just frustrated that I wasn't wanting to knit. But it was okay, you know. Of course, I let myself deal with it, and I said it will come back at some time. Everyone told me it's going to come back. Just relax. Sometimes this just, you know, happens when you have a baby, or when you're pregnant, or when you get sick, or life circumstances, basically. I never thought it would happen to me though, because I was in such a knitting groove. I was really getting into my designs and just knitting. So it just came at a really crazy time for me. And I know all of you have wondered where I've been and what's been going on. So it's Halloween as well. Okay, now here I'm going to go and talk a little bit more about random things that have nothing to do with knitting. I was knitting during this though. So today is Halloween. Happy Halloween, everyone, for those of you who celebrate. We don't celebrate here in Germany. Our family doesn't anyway. It is my nephew's birthday, so we'll go over there for a party for him today, which will be nice, and celebrate in the afternoon for coffee and cake and just spending time with family. But I've been watching, I think it's kind of hilarious to call these Halloween movies because they're not, but they're kind of, I feel like when you're, anyway, just kind of darker movies, I guess, which is kind of funny for me to say. I really, really adore Tim Burton and Danny Elfman. I think Danny Elfman is just such a musical genius. I love everything he writes, and I just adore all the movies that he's composed for. So in the past 2 weeks, I guess, I've watched a couple of movies kind of celebrating Halloween coming up, and I watched The Nightmare Before Christmas, which I as well will watch, of course, around Christmas time, because I love that movie. There was a time when I was completely obsessed with Jack and Sally, and I had like Jack and Sally shirts and sweatshirts and yeah, and pins. And then I watched The Corpse Bride, which is another good one. I saw that one in theaters. Coraline, and then I watched for the first time ever. I had been told that I need to watch this movie since I was a teen. I never watched it. I don't know why, but I finally yesterday watched The Crow. It was not at all what I expected. I imagine that for its time, it was like so intense, so kind of shocking, because in the early 90s, I think that this movie really pushed a lot of buttons. But it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I think it's kind of hard to watch, knowing that the main actor died on the set of the movie. But still such a classic movie. It's definitely one that I know I'm going to watch more than once, just like the other four. I watched the movie The Witches, which is based after a book by Roald Dahl, who my dad really loves. He loves Roald Dahl books. And I've been watching The Witches since I was little. That is seriously such a classic, really good. I love this movie. I watched Charlie Brown, The Great Pumpkin, I think it's called. Super cute movie. I love Charlie Brown. All of their holiday seasonal movies are just super great. I love movies. And when I get a chance to watch one, I definitely am so up for watching one. I have been wanting really bad to hop into some Christmas movies and start listening to Christmas music, but I've been holding off because I want it to be really special. I remember last Christmas, I think I started decorating literally in the beginning of November because I was way too excited. And it was terrible because I think come New Year's, I immediately took all my Christmas stuff down just because I wanted a new clean slate, and I didn't want the Christmas stuff up anymore. I think Christmas stuff should be up, for me personally, from December until kind of the end of January. And I would like to do that this year. I know it's going to be hard for me this month to not put anything up, but I can hold off. I can hold off. I'm always very busy now anyway, it seems like, so I'll have stuff to do rather than organize my house with Christmas ornaments. So while I was watching those movies, I was working on a couple of different things. We have wrapped up a month ago, which is so terrible, our classic must knits knit along. I hosted that with Kristen of Vine Yarns. Her podcast is called the Yarngasm Podcast. She is so fantastic, so sweet. We chat via WhatsApp every once in a while, and I just adore her. So we hosted a knit along together, and yeah, I was knitting for this knit along a featherweight cardigan, and then I kind of cast on a turn a square slash woolly wormhead hat, kind of inspired by both, but not following either pattern at all. So I don't know if I can really classify it as a classic must knits, but one of the things that I was knitting on while I was watching these movies is this hat. So the top of it, it's for Robert. This is the yarn that he purchased online and that he picked out, and it's Regia Classic Trend Tweed. That's the way that the yarn looks like. It's wet. I've just blocked it. He wore it all day yesterday, but it was a little bit too snug on top, so I've had to stretch out the top a little bit. And how he wears this is, it's actually not slouchy at all, the way that he wears it. He has kind of longer hair, and, well, he has long hair. And he wears it just with the rim all the way up to the top and then kind of tight fitting. So that's the way that he wears it. That was so much knitting. I think that that was more yarn than it takes to knit a pair of socks, to be honest. So that took a long time. I ripped it out. I think I knit almost a bit of the rim a few months ago, and then I had to rip it out because it was way too big, we found out. Then I reknit it. He basically designed that hat with me the whole process. We tried it on 10 times or so as I knitted. I kept asking him all the time if it should be longer, shorter, the ribbing, when I should start decreasing, because I really, really wanted it to be a hat that he loved. Because it took a lot of time, and when you're knitting something for someone, especially on fingering weight yarn, and a hat that uses that much yarn, it's kind of important that they like it. Now, the frustrating part is really after I've asked him all the time, are you sure you don't want it longer? Are you sure I can close it up now? All these questions. He asked me this morning if it's possible to knit it a little bit longer. I said, I don't think so. I don't think so. I do not want to rip that crown out again and knit it longer. So I'm just stretching it. I think the problem is that it is a little bit too small on the crown of the head. So we'll see. We'll see. I hope that blocking it a little bit larger helps. So the other thing that I was knitting, which is totally included in the Classic Must Knits Cal, is my featherweight cardigan. I only knit what I knit on this before I got sick. So I ripped out the arm because it was pooling, as we all know. I didn't like it. I asked you guys for loads of tips. You guys talked about that I should switch from the front, from two different ends of the yarn, you know, alternating skeins. A lot of you said to change the stitch count, which is exactly what I did. I customized the arms so they fit a little bit better. I want them to be a little bit looser, I think. So that's how much I got done. There's no more pooling, which is so fantastic. I'm really happy with it. For those of you who are new, this is the first podcast you're maybe watching of mine. I already have the body done. The Heatherweight cardigan is a pattern by Hannah Fettig, and I have the body done here. So I just have to finish this arm, and then do the collar that goes down, like for the button bands. Even though there are no buttons, I won't make my own button band. And that's really it. I mean, that cardigan could be finished quite quickly if I just got my booty in gear and worked on it, which now it seems like that is something that is achievable because, like I said, I'm putting some cream on my hands. Because like I said, I'm more into knitting now, I hope. I'm not exactly anywhere near actually where I was before I got the flu, but it's slowly coming back. And when I have time to knit, I don't want to say make myself because that sounds really sad, but I just sit and knit basically. I pop in a movie and I sit and knit right now on something that's quite simple. So this I could totally do with the sleeves because I'm already finished with all of my decreasing. I can work on the, this is something I totally wanted to show you. I can work on this. Do I not have it with me? Yes, I do. I can work on a new sweater that I cast on. A really teeny tiny sweater for the little baby. I cast on a is it baby vertebrae? Something vertebrae. I'm pretty sure it's a baby vertebrae. I feel terrible that I don't remember. I have changed a little bit about this pattern. I know that the whole point of it is so that there are no front panels, like a cardigan. It's kind of more bolero style for a baby, but I wanted that. I really wanted there to be, I really wanted it to be more like a cardigan. So I made little fronts to the cardigan. And then I'll do the ribbing a little bit bigger so it closes. And I think I'm going to put buttons in this. I'm knitting these as well on a size 1, US 1, which is a 2.5 millimeter needle. I think that's a US 1. Maybe I'm knitting it on a US 2. You know what? Maybe this is a size 2. Now I'm curious. I think it's a size 2. I all this time I've been thinking, yeah, I'm knitting it on a 2 and then I do the ribbing in a 1. That's right, okay. So I'm knitting this as well in Regia tweed. I really love this color. I actually ordered it from a really small yarn shop in the city. Well, it's a very small, I would say more kind of town that Robert's parents live at. She had never had any tweed. She has lots of sock yarns, but she never had a tweed yarn. And I told her they're so nice, she needs to order some. I'll come in, buy a couple of skeins, which I did after she ordered some. And I think that they must have sold really well. She bought 10 skeins when she ordered because I think that's the minimum that you can order. And when I went to pick my 2 skeins up, I think there were maybe 5 skeins left. So 3 after I bought mine. I have a bit of this done. It's really crazy how teeny tiny newborn cardigans are. I really want this to be newborn size. I remember when Elodie was born, my grandma, while I was pregnant with Elodie, gave me this really small cardigan. It's put away, it would be fun to show. I know I'll have it out sometime because I'll have to get out old baby clothes to use for the next baby. So anyway, she gave me this teeny tiny cardigan, and I don't think she ever thought that it would fit the newborn baby, but she thought that we could maybe use it for a teddy bear or just some kind of play clothes that Elodie could use when she was born or when she was growing up for her bears. Anyway, this sweater ended up being the only sweater that fit Elodie when she was born, and I was so thankful and grateful that we had this sweater to fit her. So now I want to spend that time to knit a very small cardigan. So while this may look very small, I know it's going to fit perfectly that newborn baby. It might even be just a teeny tad bit loose. I don't want it to be like this really tailored cardigan, but I want it to fit well and have just a little bit of negative ease. And I really remember what that newborn baby looks like and how small it is, and I have a very good feeling about this little sweater. It's so funny that people who don't knit have such a hard time visualizing that this is actually going to be a sweater, because for me as a knitter, I can picture it perfectly, especially when you knit it top down and you can see that the sleeves are forming and the back. So I have to knit 16 centimeters down from the arm, and I would say I'm 2/3 of the way there. So I was knitting this while I watched The Crow last night, and it's moving along quickly but slowly at the same time, just because it's size 2 and fingering weight yarn, but it's such a small project. It's whizzing by. So that's a lot of fun. I had been wanting to cast on a newborn baby sweater, and obviously gender neutral. I think what will be really fun is near the bottom, and then the bottom of the arms, I think I'll use this red yarn that I used for Robert's hat, just to put in some fun stripes. Or I might even do some Scandinavian hearts around the bottom. Those remind me of my grandma, and I think look nice for a boy or a girl. The stripes would look will look really nice as well, but I have to think about that with the hearts or the stripes. I'm kind of now thinking the hearts maybe will be a win. I have to call my grandma. I haven't talked to her in ages. It's really bad. I've tried calling a couple times, but she doesn't answer, so we just lately, I feel like, have been having a hard time getting a hold of each other. I have no idea what's in these bags, which is really terrible. Oh, see, this I can't even show you. So my mitten design, this is so sad, that I really wanted to have out October 1st. Obviously didn't happen, which really stunk. I couldn't knit on it. I wasn't enjoying it. I'm not doing any work that I'm not enjoying. I don't want to knit. I don't want to do any craft when I'm not enjoying it. It's just, for me, that is pointless. It doesn't make sense. Being here in this world is just all about, I feel like, doing what you want, going for your dreams, living each moment, each day, doing what makes you happy, what you want, what you need to feel that way each day. Obviously, without making others feel bad, but I think in doing that, you would feel bad as well. But knitting wasn't doing anything for me. Designing wasn't doing anything for me. And so I didn't do it. I felt really sick. I really, in the past 2 months, haven't been at the computer much at all. Now I'm kind of trying to catch up with all of you. Thank you so much for all of you who have just cared and written me so many messages, kept the boards going, which is just ridiculously awesome. I'm so grateful for those of you who chatted, kept everything going, thought of me. It means a lot. It's crazy, very, very special. So my mitten pattern. It is completely finished, which stinks. I just have to type up some last minute things in the pattern, which is how it's been for months, which is how it's been since I wanted to send the pattern out to the test knitters. I just really have to finish it up. The first mitten is done. The second mitten is almost done. And I just need to get it finished. I need to get it finished. And that's something that I want to do. I don't have to do it, but I want to do it soon. So that's what's in this bag. Don't know why I just showed you guys that bag, because I haven't showed you any bags. I'm just going to show you this because this is the bag you all know that I keep my Bird of Happiness birds in. I have no more birds of happiness. So this is something that is really motivated me. I really need to make some more because while I was in America, I gave them all away to special people, of course. And I want to have more because for me, it's really nice to have a little stock to send to someone special, to hand over to someone special. And I don't have any more. They don't take a lot of time to make. I think it would be nice. I would really like to have some hanging on the tree this Christmas. My mind is really, seriously, I would say behind maybe every other sentence in my mind, I'm not saying it out loud, but there is some sort of Christmas thought marinating going on. Not really, but really, there kind of is. So I've been keeping this out along with some extra skeins of yarn in hopes of knitting up some. Whenever I get a little bit of inspiration to just go with it, I'm gonna go with it and knit some. My grandma gave me a little bag of fresh lavender, which she grew herself, which is extra special. And those will be really dear birds. And I know you guys know that because my grandma is someone who means a lot to me, and it's really adorable for me to imagine her growing the lavender and picking it off and drying it. And she even gave me the sticks that the lavender was on because she says that those smell really good too, which I think is cute because they're just long, stiff sticks. So we'll see what I do with those. While I was in America, okay, I've totally lied because I brought my birds of happiness and I brought my blanket along with all my mini skeins because I thought I will never run out of that while I'm there. And I had basically no want to knit, no desire to knit, as I mentioned. So I brought it along just in case, naturally, because what would I do if I was there and I had nothing to knit and I actually wanted to? That would have been such a bummer. I would have been really disappointed. So kind of, I think, near the end of my trip, my grandma and I were sitting out on my parents' know what you would call it, balcony, porch, kind of more of a balcony. It overlooks the river. It's gorgeous sitting there looking out. And my grandma was knitting on a Christmas stocking. She has Christmas on her brain too, you guys see? Might be forming a pattern in our family. I don't think anyone in our family is as Christmas crazy as I am, to be honest. Anyway, we were sitting out on the balcony, and my grandma was knitting on her Christmas stocking, and she had kind of mentioned, I stayed at her house for a couple of days, and she, on the last morning that I was there, she said, you know, when you leave, we are not going to believe that we did not sit down, drink coffee, and knit together. And I knew that. I realized that while I was there. It's really hard, I think, to, especially when you're with your grandma, or it's really hard to have a 2-year-old child and really converse and spend a lot of time because that child needs a lot of your attention. And especially in, I don't know, my grandma's house when we were there. So it was hard because I didn't get a lot of time to really talk with her about anything of any sort of importance. There was a lot of small talk, which was nice and good, but difficult, that I didn't get to have any meaningful conversation really with her. It's raining outside. I love that. Oh, what a nice way to set the atmosphere. I didn't really have any meaningful conversations with her or with anyone of that matter, and those conversations to me are really important. I'm not a person who thinks you need a lot of friends, I don't like things that are not meaningful, basically. I like people in my life who really care, who really want to know you, what's things that are important to you, and those are the people, obviously, that mean something to me. I know so many people who you're around them and you just talk to them and you ask them things, and you're interested in them, but they don't care at all about you. And I'm totally going off on a tangent, but I like meaningful things. I like to talk about things other than the weather, or what your friends are doing, or what people are doing, or about what's going on TV, or just all of those really kind of silly things. I like to talk about really interests and feelings and passions. And I know you can't have those deep conversations every single time. I definitely understand that. But to have them often enough is, for me, what's important. And so that was hard that I didn't really get to have that. And, you know, that my grandma said we'll be quite shocked that that wasn't able to happen. So anyway, she came over to my parents' house one afternoon, and we sat out there for a little while my mom looked after Elodie. My mom was great. She really looked after Elodie all the time when I was at her house, because I felt very, very sick. I was very nauseous and exhausted because of the pregnancy while I was there, which was a bummer. Anyway, so I sat out on the balcony, and I thought I need to get out some knitting. So I did. I took out my Cozy Memories blanket because I needed to have a square of this memory of being in America and sitting and knitting with my grandma, and having these thoughts and talking, just sitting out there and talking with her about, we talked about her stocking design. She's been knitting this stocking forever, and it's a really nice, pretty, intricate stocking where she changes it up quite a bit, but she does a bit of Fair Isle. I showed my stockings last year in an episode that you'll never see, but I'll share them all again with you this year, because I will be doing some fun Christmas episodes come December. And so she does this stocking that is quite a lot of Fair Isle. Sometimes she doesn't do any, sometimes she just does stripe, but the one in particular that she was doing some trees, of course, some pine trees. And it's so crazy to me because my grandma definitely knows how to knit in the round, you know, on double points or in circulars. She's been knitting forever. She's a really, really good knitter. And she knits this stocking basically from the cuff to the heel flat with Fair Isle. Like, I just think it is so crazy that she does that. I told her, I don't know why you knit it in the round. It would be so much easier. And she said, I thought it would be more difficult to knit it in the round. And she said that's the way she's been doing it for years. It's a pattern she designed. And I don't even know how long she's been knitting this pattern. I would say 40 years, maybe 30, 40, could even be 50 years. Because I know, I think her oldest child is maybe 60, my Aunt Becky. I'm not sure. I know that she's 10 years older than my mom. Here I say I'm not sure, which then makes it seem like I don't know how old my mom is. Yeah. So, anyway, I knit this square. I had to knit it. This is some yarn that I got from Filipa, who lives in Portugal. She's been watching the podcast for a really long time. She is wonderful. So I believe this is Gnome Acres. I cannot remember the colorway, but this is all that I knit. This is the only thing that I knit while I was in America. And it's this just American colored yarn. I had to do it. I'm happy I knit one. I'm happy I decided on the American color because I will really remember. That's a square that I will really, really remember. I hope. I remember a lot of them, but when I think about that time sitting out on the balcony, it was really nice, but it makes me a little bit sad as well that I didn't have more time to converse with her, and I guess that's why I need to call her. I need to call her so that we can have those meaningful conversations that we didn't have. Because I miss that. I miss her. I didn't really see her a lot when I was there, which was such a pity. She was very, very, very busy the first week that I was there. I didn't see her at all, which was very sad. I had a hard time dealing with that, to be honest. And then the second week, I spent at her house, which think it was the second week. I have no idea. This time is crazy jumbled. One of the weeks I spent about 4 days at her house. I did spend 4 days. We were so busy. We did so much. It was a lot of fun. We went to secondhand shops all the time, which I love. I adore them. They have such amazing ones in America. I bought a lot of Christmas decorations, some fun tins for baking, for putting baked items in. I bought some really cute ornaments. I bought a picture to hang up. This is all Christmas stuff. I know I bought more. I bought, oh my God, you guys. I love Yankee candles. I really, really love them. And my favorite sorts of smells are really fall-like. I love cinnamon. I really, really adore cinnamon. Clove, oh, those are just my two favorite smells. And I bought, I think maybe 4 Yankee candles while I was in America because they're very expensive here in Germany. And you can get them at like Marshall's or TJ Maxx for $12, which is just ridiculous. So I think I got 4 of those when I was in America to bring back. And I'm burning, I have one in the bathroom. My mom gave me a Lily of the Valley candle. I love candles, if you didn't know. I have them burning very often. You wouldn't know because usually I'm sitting on my sofa and there's just this plain, boring white background. Today I'm sitting in front of my, I should have introduced this in the beginning, in front of my workspace. And maybe from now on I'll have a little candle burning behind me because I definitely have them. There's one right here burning. One of those little Yankee, it's just like a wax, circular wax thing that you put inside of something with a candle underneath. And then it kind of burns it and the aroma goes everywhere and it's fantastic. I really love those. And you can find those in the secondhand stores for like 15 cents. I bought 2. Why didn't I buy more? Adore those, adore those. I bought some of those. I bought lots of candles. I didn't do a whole lot of shopping. I got some things for the shop because the shop will be opening very, very, very soon. I got so much fabric. Amazing, amazing. I think I seriously bought a stack of fabric this big for updating the shop in project bags and some other things. I'm going to show these to you. There's something that I will be having in the shop is buttons or brooches because I really love brooches. I'm always using them on my project bags. Like here is one, for example. I don't have any on my other ones. And I usually have a brooch on some of my project bags. And so in the shop, I would like to have about 15 to 20 brooches maybe per week or bi-weekly. I want to bring them out and they're brooches that I don't think will be offered twice. I think I'll come up with new ideas quite often. I already have through January planned and a bit of it done. And so November and December. So soon, sometime next week, I will be offering these ones. And these are really, really cool. These are really special because these little sheep brooches actually were carved. The sheep were designed. It was designed by my grandma. She drew it out. And then my grandpa cut out the pin or the sheep shape because he works with he makes a lot of things with wood. And so he cut those out for her and my grandma gave them to me and I painted them and made some sheep with them. So that will be the first brooch that is out in the shop. I have all of those finished. They've been finished for a while. And then the next thing that I've been working on is this really fun Scandinavian, my heritage is Norwegian, My great grandpa is from Norway. And so I'm working on this. I love it. I got this pattern online for free, actually, and I've really had to alter it because there are so many mistakes in this. It works, it's fine, but it's imbalanced. A lot of it is. So I, of course, want to have this finished in time for Christmas. Here's how much I've gotten done. When I wasn't into my knitting, I did a little bit of cross stitch and I enjoyed it. I think I worked on this for maybe a week. This is something that I started a year ago, and I think I had this finished and just the gnome jackets. I don't know if I had anything else done. I think all of the rest, this definitely, all of their beards and hats. This green I've done, the candle and the tree. I worked on for that week because I wanted to be working on something. I wanted to be productive in those quiet moments. And I have to rip this one out because I have a little bit of a mistake with the candle, I think. I don't remember what I did. But yeah, I'm excited to show you guys the progress of this. It's fun to have another sort of crafty project to be working on. And I have a lot of that going on right now because for the shop, I don't have any knitting, of course, that I'm selling, or the only knitting related thing that we'll be selling in the shop are knitting patterns as I'm coming out with them. I have the mitten one, and then after the mitten, I will be doing another shawl, a crescent shaped one. Or, yes, it's a crescent shaped one. So, I received a really sweet package not too long ago. And this package was from Rebecca. I talked about Rebecca quite a while ago. She sent me a couple of mini skeins, maybe 3 or 4 really gorgeously stunning mini skeins. And one of the mini skeins was a very special one. She and her husband were trying to have a baby, and they ended up it ended up taking longer than they had hoped, or longer than they had thought. And so she had some yarn that she knit something up while she was going through this period and this kind of hard time, and it helped her get through it, really. And she ended up becoming pregnant with a baby boy who is now born. And so I knit her a bird of happiness with this yarn, and I stuffed it with all of the ends of my Cozy Memories blanket, and then of course with lavender, and I sent it to her along with some other things for the baby. And she sent me a little package back because there is some yarn that I used in my blanket. Let's see if I can find that yarn. Where are you? Here you are. Okay. So this is the yarn that I really like this yarn. And I talked about it a bit. I didn't know what it was because it didn't say. And she sent me 2 skeins of it, which is really sweet. So that means that I can knit a pair of socks or whatever I wish with this yarn. It's so pretty. It's Regia or Regia, the design line, and it's a really, the colorway is 03870. Don't you just love Regia names? It's just so amazing. I'm just always so in awe of how brilliantly creative they label their yarn. Like, who in the world thinks of this stuff? 03870. I mean, is that just genius or what? Not really. And this is the yarn that I knit her bird with right here. This was Rebecca's special yarn. So thank you so much, Rebecca. That was such a fun treat to get and such a fun treat to open and see. Oh my goodness. She remembered the yarn. She remembered me talking about it on the podcast, and she was so sweet enough to send it my way. I really hope that I can get back to weekly podcasting. I'm pretty sure that I will pop out a podcast for you each week. I would say the podcast will be coming out sometime between Thursday and Saturday of each week. You just gotta be lucky and be there when it comes out. And yeah, we'll just kind of see how it goes. Like I've said, my knitting mojo is pretty much back. So I don't think it will be a problem. I will definitely update you with what's going on in the shop as well, of course. And I've just realized that I have not drawn for the winners of the Classic Must Knits Cal. I have the 2 yarns right here that the 2 different people are going to win. And I will draw for those next week, I guess. I know you guys are patient. You've been very patient in waiting. And we have currently, today is the last day of our Whispering Pines knit along. This is a shawl that I designed, the first one. Kind of based after my childhood in the Whispering Pines at my grandma's house that she had when I was little. So many people are knitting on it. There is so much chatter going on. It is fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. I am so happy to see all of the different yarn choices. Some people have extended the lace section. They've made it longer. It's a lot of fun. It's fun to see them all coming together. It's fun to see all of your project pages coming up. It's nice to see all of your kind words towards me about my pattern. I'm happy that all of you are happy with it. I'm happy that you're happy with the way that the pattern is written. I've received so much really good positive feedback on how well written it is, how beautiful you think the pattern looks. So today's the last day. Your Whispering Pine shawl doesn't have to be finished. Even if you cast on today, you just have to basically have a picture up in the Whispering Pines thread of your cast on, of your couple of rows that you've knit, of your half knit shawl, of your almost finished knit shawl, cheering other people on, being excited about it, just knitting, anything. I just want you to be involved. As for November's knit along, I have no idea. I don't know if there will be one. I'm a little bit late saying, but I haven't really honestly thought about it that much. Maybe we'll just take a month off, and I don't know. I'm curious to hear what you guys all think. Elodie's birthday is this weekend, which is very exciting. We are having, we've rented a little place to have her birthday, and we'll have family and a couple of friends, not a lot of friends, and then of our friends, our adult friends. And then we've invited all of the girls in her class, in her Kita class. So that will be fun. I've got some goodie bags ready, and I will be spending Saturday making some yummy cakes and snacks for the party, getting some games ready. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So we have a party today, and then we have a party for Elias, her cousin, and then we have a party on the weekend for Elodie. And then next week she has her lantern festival where they sing a song and walk around outside when it's a little bit dark with lanterns. So much fun. She'll dress up then. They won't dress up. She didn't dress up for Halloween today or anything, but yeah, I am happy to update you with what's been going on, with how I've been. I'm really good. I've been doing really good. Just because I haven't been knitting and have been tired and feeling nauseous, those are just the negative things, but I've been good on top of it. I am happy. I'm doing well. I'm so excited to be pregnant and to be welcoming a new baby into our home. We will be moving shortly after the baby is born into a house that is twice the size of of ours right now, and oh, I'm so looking forward to that. I'm so looking forward to that. So I'll talk more about all of that later. It's just nice to be able to chat with you guys. Finally, I know you've been waiting for it. I've been wanting to sit down and talk with you guys, and I look forward to doing it again and again and again. So see you all later. Have fantastic weekends and a wonderful time crafting with your hands.